went down last October in a pouring driving rain. The skipper, he'd been drinking and the mate, he felt no pain. Too close to 3 Mile Rock and she was dealt her final blow, and the Mary Ellen Carter settled low. There was just us 5 aboard her when she finally went awash. We worked like hell to save her, all heedless of the cost. And the groan she gave as she went down, it caused us to proclaim that the Mary Ellen Carter'd rise again. Where the owners rode her off, not 1 nickel would they spend. She had 20 years of service, boys, and met her sorry end. Insurance paid the loss to us, so let her rest below. And they laughed at us and said we had to go. But we talked of her all winter, some days around the clock. She's worth $250,000 afloat and at the dock. And with every jar that hit the bar, we swore we would remain and make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again. That her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best and were with her till the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. All spring now we've been with her on a barge lent by a friend. 3 dives a day in hard hat suit and twice I've had the bends. Thank God it's only 60 feet and the currents here are slow, or I'd never have the strength to go below. But we patched her rents, stopped her vents, dog hatch and porthole down, put cables to her fore and aft and girded her round. Tomorrow noon we hit the air and then take up the strain and make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again, that her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best and were with her till the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Well, we couldn't leave her there, you see, to crumble into scale. She'd saved our lives so many times living through the gale, and the laughing drunken rats that left her to a sorry grave, well, they won't be laughing in another day. So you to whom adversity has dealt a final blow, with smiling bastards lying to you everywhere you go, turn to and put out all your strength of arm and heart and brain, and like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again, rise again, rise again. Though your heart it be broken and life about to end, no matter what you've lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again, rise again, rise again. Though your life be lost to the knowledge of men, all those who loved her best and were with her till the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again.
Don't need a blazing fire to light one candle in a room. You don't have to have the finest voice to be able to sing your tune. And sometimes the smallest steps we take are the hardest ones of all, and only you can know how much it takes to take a step and risk a fall. You once had use of both your legs, but in the good shot you down. You cried and raged and swore you had no reason to go on. No more dancing until dawn. So you learned to pick and sing, and you pick up all the pieces every time you try again, and wheel yourself out on the stage. For you know you don't need a blazing fire to light one candle in a room. You don't have to have the finest voice to be able to sing your tune. And sometimes the smallest steps we take are the hardest ones of all, and only you can know how much it takes to take a step and risk a fall. You once were beaten by your dad, your childhood etched with pain. You grew up with a stutter caused by fear and shame. So now when you step up to speak before 500 listening ones, they never know the work it takes to take one breath and start reading your own poems. For you know you don't need a blazing fire to light one candle in a room. You don't have to have the finest voice to be able to sing your tune. And sometimes the smallest steps we take are the hardest ones of all, and only you can know how much it takes to take a step and risk a fall. You were brought up to believe that love was what you saw on your TV, and always in your loneliness you swore that's what you'd be. Now no more brazen heart performances, no more mythical control, for now you're learning other ways to bend and hold the light that is your own. For you know you don't need a blazing fire to light one candle in a room. You don't have to have the finest voice to be able to sing your tune. And sometimes the smallest steps we take are the hardest ones of all, and only you can know how much it takes to take one step and risk a fall.
I know a dragon with a job instead of golden rings. He flies all days for Domino's with pizza on his wings. He loves to fly on winter nights when the city's still as death, and when the pizza starts to cool, he warms it with his breath.
Everybody needs a hammer, everybody needs a nail. Everybody gotta go and let off steam when the water boils out of the pail. Everybody needs redemption, everybody needs a break. If you're feeling low, you got nowhere to go, get a hammer for heaven's sake. Sometimes you get lonely, sometimes I get blue. Sometimes you wake in the middle of the night, feel the whole world's down on you. Sometimes things get heavy, sometimes you're filled with doubt. Well, if it's true, if it happens to you, get a hammer and let it all out. Everybody needs a hammer, everybody needs a nail. Everybody gotta go and let off steam when the water boils out of the pail. Everybody needs redemption,
Everybody needs a break. If you're feeling low, you got nowhere to go, get a hammer for heaven's sake. You may be a rich man, you may be a bum, you may be some big shot on your way to kingdom come. You could be a guru, hanging out with some porno star. Well, sometimes you got to explode no matter who you are. Everybody needs a hammer, everybody needs a nail. Everybody gotta go and let off steam when the water boils out of the pail. Everybody needs redemption, everybody needs a break. If you're feeling low, you got nowhere to go, get a hammer for heaven's sake. Some like banging a table, some like bopping the floor, some like smashing a champagne glass on the back of a whorehouse door. Some may like it gentle, just a little tap here and there, whether wearing diamonds and an evening gown or watching TV in your underwear. Everybody needs a hammer, everybody needs a nail. Everybody gotta go and let off steam when the water boils out of the pail. Everybody needs redemption, everybody needs a break. If you're feeling low, you got nowhere to go, get a hammer for heaven's sake. Can you talk? Do you stammer? Are you bored? Need some glamour? Lose the style, forget the glamour. Get yourself a great big hammer. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. No, that's not right. Sorry, got carried away there. Everybody needs a doorway. Everybody needs some room. Everybody gotta get a little escape from the hype and the hustle and gloom. Everybody needs their freedom. Everybody gotta find their way. Well, I'll help you if you'll help me. We can hammer out a brand new day. Abraham, he told Moses, and Moses, he told Sue. Sue told Elvis, and he told me, and now I'm a-telling you. Everybody needs a hammer. Everybody needs a nail. Everybody gotta go and let off steam when the water boils out of the pail. Everybody needs redemption. Everybody needs a break. If you're feeling low, you got nowhere to go, get a hammer for heaven's sake. If you're feeling low, you got nowhere to go, get a hammer for heaven's sake.
Well, goodbye to you now, Miss Stacy Irene. You have gone to some place no one living has seen. Was it spur of the moment or thought out and planned to die Worldcon weekend and by your own hand? So it is that you never made it 25. I guess it was too hard for you to survive. We don't know exactly the cause of your pain, because you left no note behind to explain. Did no one listen to you? Did you feel no one knew you? Did you push away people who tried hard to care? Did some demon of childhood still clutch you just too tightly to let people touch you? Did you realize the pain that you'd leave in your wake? Your friends feel that you've made a tragic mistake. Someone said that the dark abyss pulls at us all. But what was it finally that caused you to fall? Was there some sign of warning we all failed to see? Or was it some fault of your brain's chemistry? Your death echoes loudly to those of us who have walked to that edge but did not follow through. Did no one listen to you? Did you feel no one knew you? Did you push away people who tried hard to care? Did some demon of childhood still clutch you just too tightly to let people touch touch you. I'm writing to reaffirm life with the song, but I feel I can't judge if you chose right or wrong. No one can live in another one's mind. I just hope past death you had peace there to find. Yet I want to say to those who feel as you felt, who consider returning the cards they've been dealt, don't throw in your hand, try to keep holding on. Each turn brings new cards you won't get if you're gone. Did no one listen to you? Did you feel no one knew you? Did you push away people who tried hard to care? Did some demon of childhood still clutch you, just too tightly to let people touch you? Now, I didn't know you well, Stacy, it's true, but there's some part of me that I feel is like you. The great love of reading and biking and games were just some of the ways that I feel we're the same. And I've been to that edge, but I chose to not fall. Found joy, love, and peace after hitting the wall. Yes, I got past the darkness and lived through the pain, and I've done that again and again and again. Did no one listen to you? Did you feel no one knew you? Did you push away people who tried hard to care? Did some demon of childhood still clutch you, just too tightly to let people touch you?
Listen while I tell the story of a ship and crew we know, how they saw the undiscovered country where men fear to go, how they bravely faced the future, how they faced their enemy, how they saved civilization, brought peace to the galaxy. Here's the chorus. Go ahead and hate the Klingons, never think you can be friends. Keep the hatred hot forever in a war that never ends. Only if we sit together, maybe peace will come someday, and the golden morning after. One bright starship flies away. Klingons running out of water now decide to sue for peace. Send the word through Spock and Sarek, meet with us, let warfare cease. Kirk must put aside his hatred, though the Klingons killed his son. He will do as Starfleet orders, he will do what must be done. Go ahead and hate the Klingons, never think you can be friends. Keep the hatred hot forever in a war that never ends. Only if we sit together, maybe peace will come someday, and the golden morning after. One bright starship flies away. Join in when you're ready. Guess who's coming in to dinner? Serve bluefish and potent ale. Klingons quoting William Shakespeare make their human host turn pale. Back on board the Klingon vessel, Killer set the perfect frame. Gorkon dies and Kirk is taken, and McCoy must share the blame. Go ahead and hate the Klingons, never think you can be friends. Keep the hatred hot forever in a war that never ends. Only if we sit together, maybe peace will come someday, and the golden morning after. One bright starship flies away. Klingon trials are very vocal. Kirk and Bones must take their lumps, get sent to an icy prison where when Klingons yell, you jumps. Spock can follow, finds them quickly with the proof of innocence, and Uhura's great linguistics get them through, but makes no sense. Go ahead and hate the Klingons, never think you can be friends. Keep the hatred hot forever in a war that never ends. Only if we sit together, maybe peace will come someday, and the golden morning after. One bright starship flies away. Kittimer's their destination. Killers stalk behind the scenes, still reciting scenes from Shakespeare. Chang is blown to smithereens. Now the conference can continue. Everybody's feeling swell. Kirk can face his final mission. Spock tells Starfleet, go to hell. Go ahead and hate the Klingons, never think you can be friends. Keep the hatred hot forever in a war that never ends. Only if we sit together, maybe peace will come someday, and the golden morning after. One bright starship flies away. Always have to tie up all the loose ends, which is more than I can say for the movies. What's the future for our heroes? Who knows what fate has in store? Only Great Bird had the answers. He's not with us anymore. Captain Kirk's become a legend. Doc McCoy is still around. In another generation, who knows where Spock can be found? Go ahead and hate the Klingons, never think you can be friends. Keep the hatred hot forever in a war that never ends. Only if we sit together, maybe peace will come someday, and the golden morning after. One bright starship flies away.
There's a darkness out between the stars that any eye can see. There's a deeper dark within me where no light will ever be. There's an empty place beside me where my lover ought to stand. There's a burning sun before me and the throttle's in my hand. 2 days ago I lost him on a world without a name. We had touched the land to claim it for the 1000th time the same. And I left him but a moment, and I did not see him fall. Now I only know I failed him, never heard his final call. I dug his grave in alien ground in the shade of an alien wood, and I touched him there one final time, and I said what words I could. May this cold world hold him gently, one who came so far to die. Then I took the ship that was our home, and I blasted for the sky. But deep space holds no comfort for one broken and alone,
and our ship held only memories of the joys we once had known. And I could not live without him in a life no longer whole. So I chose to die by starlight and let fire cleanse my soul. And now the screen grows blinding bright and the fires glow ahead. The hull around me whispers as it grows an angry red. There's a high cold wail behind me as if starships too could cry. But my hand is cold and steady, for the time has come to die. But now my love comes back to me across gulfs I'll never know. And I feel his voice within me, and I hear him crying no. And I pull the throttle to me, and the forward thrusters burn, and our ship cries out in agony as she fights to make the turn. My vision starts to fail me as the forces mount and grow, and I wonder when our ship will fail, and I wonder if I'll know. Then the screen before me darkens, and a coolness strikes my face, and there's nothing left before me but the endless depths of space. There's a darkness out between the stars that any eye can see. There's a light within that darkness, touches even a fool like me. For I know my love forgives me, and I know he loves me still. Once we roamed the stars together, now I know we always will. Once we roamed the stars together, now I know we always will.
Let me tell you the story of a man named Yuri who set out to reach the stars. He got into his capsule, blasted into orbit, and left what was the USSR. And did he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unlearned. Oh, Yuri, he may ride forever in the near space station. He's a man who never returned. So all summer long Yuri circled the planet and he watched the world go by. There were coups and successions and a general election, and he kissed his re-entry goodbye. How did he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unlearned. Oh, Yuri, he may ride forever in the Mir space station. He's the man who never returned. So he called Baikonur and asked for assistance. Can you bring me down by beam? And they called poor Yuri and said, we can't help you. We're no longer a unified team. Did he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unlearned. Oh, Yuri, he may ride forever in the Mir space station. He's a man who never returned. So all winter long they ferried provisions to keep poor Yuri alive. They sent fresh caviar and plenty of vodka and some borscht to feed the dry. Will he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unlearned. Oh, Yuri, he may ride forever in the Mir space station. He's the man who never returned. And mission control was asked by Yuri, what's become of my army pay? And they told the cosmonaut not to worry, the ruble just collapsed today. Oh, did he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unlearned. that would vary the diet and get Yuri off that craft. Just ask him to defect, then we'll take him to McDonald's. And Yuri thought that plan was daft. How did he ever return? No, he never returned. And State is still unlearned. He may ride forever on the Mir space station. He's the man who never returned. So Yuri asked, why can't I re-enter and land in Kazakhstan? We checked our records. You're carrying contraband, and that goes against the Quran. He'll never return, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever on the Mir space station. He's the man who never returned. So Yuri said, can I come home someday? I am so lonesome, please. They said, not to worry. We heard your spacecraft is bought by the Japanese. He never returned, no, he never returned. And his fate is still unlearned. For a Yuri, he may ride forever in the Mir space station. He's a man who never returned. Finally. So Yuri looked down from his place at orbit and said, hey, I think this is great. If it's not a Soviet and it's not a union, I'm an independent state. No, never return. And my fate shall be unknown. I will ride forever in my own space station. I will never return.
The Programmer and the Elves. Fairy tale. Once upon a time, at a company far away, there was a poor project manager named Jones. His department only did maintenance and hadn't gotten a new project in years. Their computer was so old that it only ran Fortran. Jones's one pride and joy was their young chief programmer Sandy, who not only had the long golden hair that was the envy of all the secretaries, but was far and away the finest coder the department had ever seen. Now, most programmers this good would go work for lots of money at one of the rich companies in the valley with the beach parties and the hot tubs. But Sandy knew that the programmers there had to work 12 hours a day, and always lived in fear that their company would be shut down by a look and feel lawsuit. And most older programmers this good would stay at Berkeley and work on nifty academic systems until they turned into tenured professors. But Sandy didn't like programs that were all theoretical and never really got implemented, and anyhow had flunked out of Berkeley. Well, one year at the office Christmas party, after a few too many glasses of eggnog, Jones boasted to the boss that Sandy was probably a good enough programmer to write hypertext programs in Fortran. The boss took one look at Sandy with the blue jeans and the sandals and the long golden hair and shouted, "Jones, you're a liar! This is no chief programmer, this is a hippie! I'm going to lock this imposter in a room with a terminal and a Fortran compiler, and if I don't see a hyper-what's-this program by tomorrow at noon, I'm going to fire the both of you." Well, everybody knows that it's barely possible to write text processing programs in Fortran, much less hypertext, and especially in less than a day locked in a room with no cola and no Twinkies. Yes. So Sandy was scared witless and cursed and wailed over the keyboard until early in the morning, and was all ready to crash out when up from under a floor tile popped a little person with pointy ears and pointy shoes and a tall, pointy hat. "What seems to be your trouble, hacker?" asked the elf. "Now, my supervisor told the boss I could write hypertext programs in Fortran, which everybody knows is impossible, and now I have until noon to write one or I'll get fired." The elf replied, "A bit of an odd request, but surely not impossible. I think I can help you out." And while falling asleep from caffeine depletion, Sandy may or may not have seen coming up from under that floor tile a dozen more elves in a laptop spark station. They opened the door at noon and found Sandy asleep, and a program running merrily away on the terminal. The boss, of course didn't know a hypertext program from a kiwi fruit, and called in some other programmers to figure out what the thing was. "It is indeed a hypertext program," they replied, "but none of us can understand how it works. It has variables named Shamrock, and Rainbow, and Misty Morning Dew, and some of the most ferocious assembly language subroutines to be found outside the jungles of Borneo." That's your The boss was so astonished as to give Sandy a week's vacation on the spot. Sandy took the listing at home and decided the elves must have been real, because no human being would write a program with variable names like that. At least not unless somebody had been putting really tempting brogues in the water cooler. In the meantime, the news of this program spread far and wide around the department. Finally, it reached the ears of a secretary named Robinson, who had always hated Sandy from envy of that long golden hair. An evil thought turned into a nasty plan, and Robinson whispered in the boss's ear, "That program could never be written in just one night. You've been fooled. Sandy must have written it months ago and they just brought it out as a party trick." The boss, who also didn't know an ace programmer from a kiwi fruit, was totally fooled by this evil rumor. So Jones was called into the boss's office, and the upshot of it was that Sandy came back from a week's vacation only to be given an even more impossible task to do in one night, namely put a graphical user interface on that program. Well, everybody knows that it's utterly hopeless to write a graphical user interface in Fortran, even worse than processing hypertext, and especially in less than a day locked in a room with no cola and no Twinkies. So Sandy was scared even more witless than before, and cursed and wailed over the keyboard until early in the morning, and all was all ready to crash out when up from under a floor tile popped the same little person with pointy ears, etc., etc., etc. "Now, what seems to be your trouble this time, hacker?" asked the elf. "My supervisor told the boss I could write a graphical user interface in Fortran, which everybody knows is impossible, and now I have until noon to write one or I'll get fired." The elf replied, "An amazingly stupid request, but surely not impossible. I think I can help you out on this one, too." "But wait," said Sandy. "What do you want in return? Royalties? Supper in a place by my fire? My firstborn child?" "Oh, nothing of the sort," said the elf. "We elves just do this to keep up our skills for consultant jobs." And while falling asleep from caffeine depletion, Sandy may or may not have seen coming up from under that floor tile a dozen more elves, a laptop Spark station, a copy of the GNU Curses library, and a C2 translator. They opened the door at noon and found Sandy asleep and a program running merrily away on the terminal. The boss could at least tell it had a graphic user interface, but called in the other programmers anyway for reassurance. "Well, it is just what it looks like," they replied, "but we still don't understand how it works. It has variables named Shamrock, and Rainbow, and Misty 42, and some of the most ferocious assembly language subroutines to be found outside of Borneo. And by the way, while we were testing last week's version, we found it was a pretty useful tool for writing documentation, and with this graphical user interface, we could even use it to put our manuals online." So the company started using the new program for all their manuals and documentation, all except for Robinson, who quit in shame rather than go near it. Well, in the happy ending for this story, the boss takes early retirement, Sandy is promoted to Vice President of R&D, and Jones is promoted to Vice President of Personnel for having the brains to hire Sandy in the first place, and they all live happily ever after. But what really happened is that Sandy is still a lowly programmer, and is now stuck for the foreseeable future maintaining this hard crock of a Fortran program written by elves. After all, nobody else can understand how it works. It has variables named Shamrock, and Rainbow, and Misty 42, and some of the most ferocious assembly language subroutines to be found outside the jungle of Borneo. And the moral of the story is, never do the impossible. People will expect you to do it forever after.
When I find my code in tons of trouble, friends and colleagues come to me, speaking words of wisdom right in C. As the deadline fast approaches and bugs are all that I can see, somewhere someone whispers, right in C, right in C, right in C, right in C, you're right in C. Logo's dead and buried, right in C. If you've just spent nearly 30 hours debugging some assembly, soon you will will be glad to ride in sea. I used to write a lot of Fortran for science, it works flawlessly. Try using it for graphics, write in C, write in C, write in C, write in C, yeah, write in C. Only wimps use basic, write in C, write in C, write in C, write in C, yeah, write in C. Pascal won't quite cut it, write in C, write in C, write in C, write in C, yeah, write in C. Don't even mention COBOL, write in C. Write in C, write in C, write in C, please write in C. It's got the easy chords, write in C.
Well, some people sing for the glory.
Beauty.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Some people sing for the joy. Some people sing for the challenge it brings. And Spencer just sings to annoy.
Yes, he does.
But we're only in it for the money. We're in it for the jingle of your coins. We sing a song like that, then we pass around the hat, and we buy a cozy condo in Des Moines. Oh, we're only in it for the money. We're in it for the pleasure bucks can bring. It gives us no remorse, it's our karma, it's our course, it's the money makes our bankers want to sing. Something like that. Oh, some people sing to bring pleasure. Some people sing to ease pain. Some people raise their bright voices in praise of the sun and the moon and the rain. But we're only in it for the money. We're in it for the crinkle of your cash. There's no telling what you'll buy with a twinkle in your eye, whether arias or folksy bluesy trash. Oh, we're only in it for the money. We're in it for the pleasure bucks can bring. It gives us no remorse, it's our karma, it's our course, it's the money makes our bankers want to sing. Oh, some people sing just in concert,
Like us,
and some only sing in a crowd.
like us,
Some like a bird, so you can't hear a word.
like me.
And some people sing way too loud.
Like-
Don't even think it. But we're only in it for the money. We're in it for American Express. We're just an empty shell when there's nothing left to sell, and cheap silence leaves us feeling quite distressed. But we're only in it for the money. We're in it for the pleasure bucks can bring. It gives us no remorse, it's our karma, it's our course, it's the money makes our bankers want to sing. 'Cause money makes the song go around, the song go around, the song go around. Money makes the song go around, it makes the song go round. So if you have enjoyed the song, throw money, don't just sing along, 'cause money makes the song go round, it makes the song go round.
Sir Lauren undertook a quest, the maiden Gilda seeking. He found her in a dragon's bed, from neath the covers peeking. What seek you here, Sir Lauren dear? The dragon asked with guile. The noble knight could not but note the dragon's sated smile. Why smile you so, Lord Dragon, sir? Asked our hero in armor laden. Why, you'd smile too, the dragon replied, if you'd just eaten a maiden. Such candor, this young lordling cried, must touch upon dishonor. The dragon grinned his lecherous grin, and once more was upon her. Cease and desist, Sir Lauren cried, his fine steel blade a-flashing. Oh, slay him not, young Gilda replied, her voice aflame with passion. Was ever a maid perplexed as I betwixt desire and honor? I should demand you slay the beast, but he stirs in me such ardor. Fie, Sir Lauren cried to her, what foolishness is this? Would you deny your lord and land, all for a dragon's kiss? Intently he did search her face, then frowned in deep dismay, as she shed one tear for honor's sake, and then sent him away. Why smilest thou, Lord Dragon, sir, asked our hero in armor laden. Why, you'd smile too, the dragon replied, if you'd been eaten by a maiden.
I am but a simple girl, and weaving is my trade. My father is a farmer, and my mother's in her grave. So there was no one to warn me of what Saxon men can do. So I'm singing you this simple song, please heed my warning true. Oh, Saxon men are evil, they're the very worst of kind. For they will smile so sweetly and will stab you from behind. They will steal your heart away and tear it all to shreds. I tell you very simply, Saxon men should all be dead. The Saxon man I truly loved had eyes of bluest blue. His hands were very large and strong, and oh, what those hands could do. Now I wish his hands would rot away and crows pick out his eyes. For Saxon men are bastards, and all they tell is lies. Oh, Saxon men are evil, they're the very worst of kind. For they will smile so sweetly and will stab you from behind. They will steal your heart away and tear it all to shreds. I tell you very simply, Saxon men should all be dead. The Saxon man I loved so much, he swore that he'd be true. I believed every word he said, for I was but a fool. But while he whispered secrets sweet beside me in the night, he was bedding down some other wench late in the morning light. Oh, Saxon men are evil, they're the very worst of kind. For they will smile so sweetly and will stab you from behind. They will steal your heart away and tear it all to shreds. I tell you very simply, Saxon men should all be dead. My Saxon lover came to me one bright and sunny morn to tell me of his other love. I wished I'd ne'er been born. He smiled when he thought of her and wilted at his name. So I doused his head in scalding milk and hoped he felt some shame. Oh, Saxon men are evil, they're the very worst of kind. For they will smile so sweetly and will stab you from behind. They will steal your heart away and tear it all to shreds. I tell you very simply, Saxon men should all be dead. Now I see an Irishman who's very kind and strong. He knows that I will kill him if he ever does me wrong. For I learned to wield a sword and cleave a man in two. Now the Saxon sings soprano, and his note is very true. Oh, Saxon men are evil, they're the very worst of kind, for they will smile so sweetly and will stab you from behind. They will steal your heart away and tear it all to shreds. I tell you very simply, Saxon men should all be dead.
Near Bridgetown in the county down one morning last July. Down a green boring came a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her two bare feet to the crown of her nut brown hair. Such a ransom melt that I pinched myself for to see I was really there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cay and Galway down from town, I made I seem like the brown Colleen that I met in the county town. As she onward sped, sure I scratched my head, and I looked with a feeling there. And says I to a passerby, who's the maid with the nut brown hair? He smiled at me, and he says he, that's a Jew of Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McCann from the banks of the Ban, she's a star of the county town. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cay, and from Galway to Dublin down, that maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county town. Harvest fair should be surely there, so I'll dress in my Sunday clothes, with my shoes shine bright and my hat cut right for a smile from the nut brown rose. No pipe or smoke, no horse or yoke, my brow was a rust-colored brown. You'll smile and bright my bound fair light is the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cay, and from Galway to Dublin town, like a brown Colleen that I met in the county down.
My lover, he knew I'd a weakness for sweets, and so he decided to give me a treat. I opened the wrapping, and what found I there? A giant cream-filled chocolate-covered eclair. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I damn nearly ate 'em away. He proudly displayed the confectioner's art, and I gazed and admired each edible part. It was moist and well risen, near lighter than air, and covered with chocolate, a perfect eclair. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I damn nearly ate 'em away. It was covered with chocolate and bursting with cream, the most delicate pastry, a sweet lover's dream. My mouth it did water, my eyes they did stare, and I ached to devour that lovely eclair. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I damn nearly ate 'em away. I wanted it all, every morsel, each crumb, not caring how rounded I might then become. I begged that my lover let no one else share that giant cream-filled chocolate-covered eclair. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I damn nearly ate 'em away. I ate the eclair and lapped up all the cream, and licked all my fingers until they were clean, then asked of my lover how long to prepare another cream-filled chocolate-covered eclair. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate 'em, I ate. I damn nearly ate 'em away. Now remember, ye men who'd give lovers a treat, that rich chocolate icing makes everything sweet. And of all the sweet treats there is none to compare to a giant cream-filled chocolate-covered eclair. I ate 'em, 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 I ate. I damn nearly ate 'em away.
The goldfish is a quiet fish, he does not make a sound. He just swims round and round and round and round and round and round. Join in. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. He does not bark or chirp or moo, he cannot make a sound. He just swims round and round and round and round and round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. When it's time for him to eat, I know he can be found. He just swims round and round and round and round and round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. When it's time for him to mate, I'll bet you 15 pound. He just swims round and round and round and round and round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. He finally opened his mouth to speak and could not make a sound. The water ran inside of him, and the silly bugger drowned. And drowned and drowned and drowned and drowned and drowned and drowned and drowned. And drowned and drowned and drowned and drowned and drowned and drowned and drowned.
Nutritionists have warned me that I am just what I eat. And if I would be healthy, I should only eat lean meat. I must eat lots of vegetables, drink milky fruit and bread. But when I do, I find most days I'd rather stay in bed. It goes crunch when it's hard and swish when it's soft and splash when it's hot fudge. My taste buds just can't get enough, but fat cells hold a grudge. Balancing my calories, I plan out all my meals. And I'm not really hungry, no, that's just the way it feels. One apple, small, a slice of toast, no butter, I regret. This would go down more easily if it were chocolate. It goes crunch when it's hard and squish when it's soft and splash when it's hot fudge. My taste buds just can't get enough, but fat cells hold a grudge. At night I dream of fudge and cake and Easter bunny ears. And ice cream sundaes haunt me, for this diet may take years. And even if I lose the pounds, there will be no respite, for I will gain them all right back if I touch chocolate. It goes crunch when it's hard and squish when it's soft and splash when it's hot fudge. My taste buds just can't get enough, but fat cells hold a grudge. I wonder if it's worth the pain and cravings I endure, but giving up my M&Ms may be the only cure, along with daily exercise to get me into shape. If I can't have a candy bar, I'll eat Jane Fonda's tape. Did you ever notice that VCR tape is the same color as chocolate? It goes crunch when it's hard and squish when it's soft and splash when it's hot fudge. My taste buds just can't get enough, but fat cells hold a grudge. If I I don't get some chocolate soon, I'm sure that I will die. My diet lasted half an hour, it was an honest try. When Toll House cookies smell so good, I can't resist the bait. Just like a fish, I'm truly hooked, and it's to chocolate. Thinking of chocolate, thinking of chocolate, thinking of chocolate makes me put on weight. And I sing as I'm jogging to the corner candy store. Thinking of chocolate makes me put on weight.
The first time that she saw him was in the office canteen. He was buying a cup of coffee,
3 sugars, double cream.
2 weeks later she saw him by the elevator banks. His hands were full, she held the doors for him, and he said,
thanks.
Now she's in love, for her it don't take much. She is in love, but this is not your ordinary office crush. Cause she works in the basement near the boiler room door, and he works in accounting on the 37th floor. I'm not much of a mathematician, but even I can see in a building of 37 floors and 4,000 employees, the chances of him running into her were really not that good. Even though she hung out at the canteen and rode the elevator every spare minute she could, she was in love. She didn't even know his name.
It was Edwin.
He was in love.
But
love could be such a cruel game. When she works in the basement near the boiler room door, and he works in accounting on the 37th floor. And by the way, did I happen to mention that when this building was constructed, it was done improperly? And one day on the 4th floor, there was a short in the electricity. It burned up walls and desks and chairs and all the secretaries. The alarms did not go off until it reached floor 33, floor 33, floor 33. Now the upper floors, people were running and screaming and jumping out of windows to get away from the flames.
It was gross.
The woman in the basement, she ran up the stairs, out the emergency exit, into the fresh air. Because she looked up, because just then it began to shower. That's when she saw her true love coming. About 100 miles an hour. Oh, 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 no, oh, 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 oh. I'm not much of a mathematician, but even I can see that the chances of him landing on her were very slim indeed.
But he did.
So they buried them together the following day. And even now, when I ride the elevators, I can hear someone say she was in love. For her it didn't take much. She was in love, but this was not your ordinary office crush. Cause she worked in the basement near the boiler room door, and he worked in accounting on the 37th floor. Yeah, she worked in the basement, and he the 37th floor. But fate brought them together to be parted nevermore. Nevermore, nevermore.